Hey guys, welcome to TGS. I'm currently sat on the house on the hill at the National Shooting Complex at San Antonio, Texas. And I have an American gun to share with you today. This is the Connecticut Shotgun Manufacturing Company's A10 American. A sidelock over and under. Pretty much hand built, hand finished for 15 grand. So we did a factory tour there a little while ago, and out of all the guns, this is probably their most famous, certainly their most well known. It is a sidelock over and under shotgun with some great features. Realistically, for the money, I think at this point we'll say, at 10 yards, this gun, you could tell everyone was 100 grand, and it's got all the hallmarks of a best gun. We're gonna look at it back to front and talk about some of its features, but let's start at the back. We have a Galazan's proprietary rubber butt plate. This has the hard plastic heel. I'm not a big fan of hard plastic heel guns, but I understand from a mounting perspective, it's certainly a little bit better. But that's just me. I prefer something a little bit more rounded. This is a little bit oval, a little bit flat, and I know a lot of people will like that. The beauty of the Connecticut shotgun, having been around that factory, if you haven't checked the video out, please go and check it out, is that these stocks are made by hand. There is obviously some pre-machining to keep the price right, but the guys will build you what you want. If you say to them, can I have a little bit more meat around the hand? They'll go, yeah, no worries, we'll put a bit more meat around the hand. But they do pistol grip, they do straight grip, English style, they'll do pretty much whatever you want, which is interesting. Like many other manufacturers at the price point now, they understand that the customer wants something slightly different, and at that price point, you should be able to get it. So you don't have to have this pad. You can have horn, you can have metal, you can have wood, you could have it finished in itself wood. That probably is an extra, and a lot of those are chargeable extras, but realistically there's a few chargeable extras on here anyway. This gun isn't $15,000, it's $17.5 because you've got a long trigger tang and grip cap. You've got exhibition grade wood. You've got the better finish, the true oil finish. So they come standard with a London finish, but this one, the true oil is obviously a little bit harder. It takes a little bit more time to get that thick quality gloss finish, and it is a synthetic finish. It's always a tough one, isn't it? We all want something that is really beautiful and old-fashioned, but we also want it to perform in a modern way. So you get the look and you get the durability, and to be fair, for a $500 extra, that true oil finish will never let you down. It's a good looking thing. The exhibition grade walnut is very beautiful, and again, wood is subjective. If you go to their factory, they've got a big room full of wood and you can choose it. And the grip is subjective too. You know, they do everything from straight stocked English, they do full pistol grips, they do palm swells, they do long grips, short grips, everything you want. I don't dislike the side profile. In fact, I really like the side profile of this stock. I think it's very nice. The grip is certainly large. It's even a little bit too large for my hand, but it's very thin through the neck. I think, again, having seen how these things are made, they're pre-machined to a number of presets, and then pretty much you can have it taken down and hand finished by the guys in the stock room who are extremely talented gentlemen. I'd like a little bit wider for my hand, but as I've said, it's a custom gun, obviously within set parameters before it becomes a chargeable extra. The hand checkering is to a coarser standard than a few others, but I like it. It's practical, it's not over sharp, and this gun is built to be used, and used in a slightly different way to some of the guns back home, so you do need a little bit more of a practical element. Given what we've just said about the stock being capable of all weathers, when you look at things like Dixon's, you have much coarser checkering than this because they're designed for Scottish weather. And, you know, it does rain, as we found out, even in Texas, a lot. And if in the north is any different, which it's not, because it's colder and wetter, you want a gun that you can actually hold on to, in my opinion. This particular gun is a 30-inch flat rib 12-bore. They do scaled actions, I believe, in a 20, a 28, and a 410. And I've seen them, they are really cute little things. You can also get sub-gauge tubes, I believe, barrel lengths from 26 to 32 inches throughout. And the barrels are quite cool, and we'll get into those in a sec. But first, let's look at the action. This particular one is case hardened. It's a true bone and charcoal case hardening, and we were lucky enough to actually see that process. It's a very old-fashioned way of doing things, but it's done properly. This isn't a chemical process, which gives you a deep dark, luxurious color that will age well over time. And it is the modern style, it's a modern look, you know. This isn't how they looked quite back in the day. It's a little bit richer, but I love it. It's bold and it's beautiful, and over time that will just slightly become another piece of history. The patina that you get on a worn case hardened gun is stunning. If you don't like the case hardening, they also do a nitride coin finish. I know that certain people prefer that, but I do think that this just looks $1 million. It really does. As I said, from 10 yards, it looks like a London best gun. It's got all the hallmarks from that distance, which is kind of amusing, seeing as the price point is totally different. It is a true side lock, and we'll pop those off now because we can. The fore end is done on a little under lever catch just there. Top lever drops from this little stop here. Just press it at the back of your thumb, and top lever drops down. I do love the case hardening on these. So it's a true side lock over and under. And if we take this Galazan pen and you look for the little piece of the side of the action, you can see you've got hidden fasteners. I love that as a little feature. Hidden fasteners is one of my favorite things on any shotgun. As you can see, they're case hardened as well. And the wood metal fit around the action is, as one would expect, very good. This is all made in USA by Master Gunsmith up in Connecticut in the factory. And those guys, certainly the guys in the woodroom over everyone else in the factory, seemed to be the most proud of their work. And they should be, because side locks are all slightly different, but this one is made in the better way in my opinion. This part here is called the bridle. It covers and holds all the parts in with these pins and screws, as you can see on the outside here. Traditionally, this was done with a piece of metal that was locked over the top, and it was held together just with the screw pins. This is done with one piece of metal. The side lock is the bridle. The bridle is the side lock plate. They are one in the same. It's super strong and is generally really good. I love the little piece of engraving on the inside of the lock there. I know that it is laser done, and this gun is laser done. Obviously hand engraving is an option, and some of the guns they produce are unbelievably beautiful. But the laser work, the little fine scroll on the inside, it's a touch. It's an unnecessary touch, and I really, really like that. All the parts are coated with hard gold, titanium nitride. What that does is add a protective layer, stops it ever rusting, keeps it just a nice little thing. Also, it's a little bit slippier, and generally will just keep those sears running even when you get a little bit of muck and dirt in here. But this gun is designed for, again, that's the hard use aspect. If you don't do that to these shotgun parts and you take it in the rain, I spent a good portion of my life servicing old side locks that had never been cleaned. I like this idea, it's a great idea. I also love the little gold pins looking on the outside there. It's a nice touch. The trigger brakes on this are, according to most side locks, fantastic. Ready, steady. You got the gold trigger, which is fully adjustable on this one. I don't know if they do a fixed trigger, but it's nice to have it adjustable. Just given the quality and the price point, why not have an adjustable trigger? It's not big, it's not obtuse, it doesn't take anything away. It's a really nice unit, nice and slender. The bow of the trigger guard is nice as well. The gun has a selector on the safety catch, which is automatic, being a game gun. I'd like, with all things, to never have selectors on guns because I think they've somehow ruined the line, but I'm aware the American market loves a selector. In my head, get rid of the selector, put half and half choked in the gun, and never worry about it ever again. This gun is the rose and scroll gun. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 bouquets of roses on each side with the scroll around it. It is done by a laser, but at the price point, one can't complain, and it is very nicely done. They will do hand engraving if you want, but to be honest, with the case hardening over this engraving, I think it looks well. It looks really very nice. You've got the 4 bouquets on the bottom as well. It's a beautiful pattern. It is an undeniably beautiful pattern. They do others. They do a game scene and they do a Celtic, both of which are beautiful. But I think the rose and scroll with the case hardening is probably my favorite one that I've seen, other than the hand engraved models. Sidelock over and unders I have said bad things about in the past. Inherently, they're going to be slightly less reliable than a trigger plate gun by proxy of the way they're built. One of the biggest things with some of the early sidelock over and unders is the amount of wood you have to take out to put these side locks on and fit it around the headwork and put the trigger in and the top strap in. It leaves very little wood. In fact, just these 4 horns. These guys have got around that by having a through bolt design. So you have a monolithic action with a through bolt that pulls it into the back. So instead of the headwork and all the pressure being around these horns, the pressure and the joining point is just in the back here, the same as most modern shotguns. It is the better way of doing it, I think. I mean, it's perhaps less glorious, but again, practicality. I like the idea, I always like the idea of these fine things that are extra hard to do. But the reality is I want my stuff to work and I want to just take it out and shoot it, and I don't want to have to go into some of the less wonderful parts of owning a fragile shotgun. The fact this is beefed up a little is great. The gun is locked up by these two, I don't know, Galazan locking shape lugs. Two lugs that come out of the action and swings off of two trunnions in the bottom. These trunnions are replaceable for an oversize, as is this in the top. However, the locking shape, which is much easier to see in the back of the barrels here, has a huge surface area. So you're not going to be wearing it away too quickly. They're all hand fitted and filed up, so you shouldn't have any issues there whatsoever. And the way it locks up when you just put it into the action is good. It's a nice solid clunk. There's a little bit of ting down these barrels, and that's because they're slightly different to other makers' barrels. Before we get into these barrels, let's go shoot it. So baby, meet me down by the Roanoke River. Okay, time to shoot the Connecticut Shotgun Manufacturing Company's A10 American. I shot one of these at San Donona, but I only had a couple of shots. I'm really looking forward to this. The actual feel in the hand of this gun is good. That grip, although slender, is well designed for a hand, and the balance is slightly in front of the hinge in this spec. Let's see what happens. All right, so took a few shots to adjust from my heavier clay gun I've been shooting today. This gun is lively. Apparently it thrives off of that sort of gun speed. It thrives as a hunting gun because it's a hunting gun. Let's try and shoot it like a hunting gun. Yeah, it actually swings really nicely. You know, for clay shooting, you do want something a little bit steadier, a little bit different. This does allow you to flick and play and enjoy the little movements, just punch through targets a little bit. It's quite nice. It's not terribly controlled, but you don't want that, especially for the sort of hunting this gun's designed for, that sort of walked up style. But to be honest, this could handle driven game really nicely. This gun is helped a lot by the thin wall chokes. There's very little barrel swelling, which keeps that weight down a lot. That keeps this gun very lively. And you know, for the game of sporting clays, that's not really what you need, but it is fun to shoot. And I'll tell you what, I'd love to stand on peg with something like this. What's interesting about this gun is where it's so lively and actually so keen on that mid-weight. Usually I find the shotgun makes no difference on my clay gun. Can't even feel it. Same on yours. Like, it doesn't really make a difference. On this, it changes its entire characteristics. All right, so we move stand. Those targets back there, a little bit more technical, required something, and this gun managed it very well. But it wants to be driven. Desperate to be driven and punched out targets with a bit more speed. So these targets are very representative of upland targets, if you like. Fast crossing, fast going away. And it is this kind of shot. You walk, bird gets out, react, bang, break. Shooting, move, mount, shoot. This is the move, mount, shoot gun. Oh yeah, this gun is designed for this. This is what it is designed for. This feels supernatural. See the target, move, mount, bang, bang. Brilliant. Let's see if we can have a little play and shoot that target as early as we can. See what it's like with a bit of energy behind it. Oh, that was bad from my form, but there is super reactive. This is a monoblock shotgun barrel. A monoblock designed shotgun barrel has the monoblock, a piece of metal here, two tubes that sleeve into it, two side ribs that clip on the side, and a top rib that clips on the top. And then a loop that is put on the bottom. That's 7 components. This has a few more where you have the balancing system and the replaceable shoulders just here, which are quite a nice feature. I should have mentioned that with the locking point is that it's not just a case of trunnions and locking bolt. These shoulders will take some of the pressure when you fire the gun. They're hand fitted on, so when they click into the gun, these little bits take pressure. They will wear over time, but that is why you can take them off and put new ones on. One step back, traditionally you would take those 7+ components and braze or solder them together. These guys decided to do something slightly different because over time, brazing and soldering through lots of heat put through the gun can come loose. At that point, you have to do something called a strip and relay. You take all the parts off and then you rejoin them all back together. Certainly in America, it's more of a thing because of the quantity of ammunition that a lot of clay shooters put through their guns and the temperature of the air and the surroundings whilst they're doing so. These guys said, all right, how do we get around that? We're gonna laser weld the ribs on. And so they did. You have a laser welded top rib, you have laser welded side ribs, and you have a laser welded loop. These ribs will never come off. They can never come off. They're metal glued together in the best possible way. You have all the bridges individually welded, and it's all done through a cold laser as such, not to stress the steel. The action is quite shallow. You have this slightly rounded bottom to the monoblock that clips right into the bottom of the action. It's a really well machined gun. One cannot complain about the machining quality. The ejection system is very similar to a Beretta Silver Pigeon, which is good. I do like to see people using ejection systems that are time tested. Ejectors are funny things, and it's not nice when they don't work. If there's a design that works, a little bit like the lock plates are similar to an SO, they're slightly amended, slightly tweaked, but that's an amazing design. So why not use that amazing design? This gun is inspired by other makers and then tweaked to become the A10 American. Finally, the chokes. I forgot we should talk about the chokes. It's their proprietary thin wall chokes.
I was baptized.
They do swell the barrel ever so slightly to take them in, as most makers do, but they are proprietary, they are lightweight, and I'm sure if you ask, they can do extendeds, they can do fixed chokes as well.
Reflections. Looking back in the mirror, did I mention?
This little piece in the middle is for adding barrel weight. Everyone has different preferences. Everyone has different preferences for balance. I quite like a mid-balanced gun. I don't mind. I think every gun needs to be taken on its merits, its stock shape and design, and some guns, it's nice to have a bit of front end weight, some it's nice to have them totally neutral, some it's nice to have them back here. Variety is the spice of life. This without barrel weights and the thin stock is slightly about a 1/4 inch in front of the hinge pin, not even, 1/8 of an inch in front of the hinge pin. It's nothing. But I would prefer something a little chunkier in the grip, and that would bring that back. If you wanted to add that forward, put the barrel weights in and away you go.
Mountains to move, I got mountains. Mountains to move, I got mountains.
It has been mentioned to me twice on this trip that I relentlessly rinse all American-made guns. And to date, that is not untrue. This gun, however, I like. And I like it a lot. There's numerous reasons for that. Firstly is the price point. A sidelock over and under shotgun for $15,000. I mean, that's pretty good, right? I think that's pretty good. And included in that, you get custom stock fit. Against the market of Krieghoffs and Perazzis, that's a little bit reasonable, I think. Certainly given the way it looks and some of the other guns that look this way, short of going to Turkey, the next option is going to be what? A sidelock over and under. $40,000? Maybe? You can't hate it because it's actually really good value. Yeah, you could sit here and go, yeah, but this is right, and I don't think that's quite right. But with, I said a Purdy over and under is, what, 160,000 plus VAT, 180,000 plus VAT pounds. That puts this into perspective a little bit. You're not gonna get perfection, but they've got bloody close. This isn't the gun I'd buy from Connecticut Shotgun. It is their average gun though. This is their best example of middle of the road. Those who know me know I prefer something a little different. I mean, maybe not different. I think in the 12 bore, I'd want 32 inches and I'd want the full pistol grip. We were playing with them down on the stand, and for me, the pistol grip just off the shelf, the full one, feels so much better than this. However, I think this grip, a little bit of extra roundedness in there, 32 inch 28 bore barrels. Now there would be a upland hunting gun. I mean, there would be a driven shooting gun. You could have a 28 bore, 32 inch multi-choke gun, full sidelock with best wood for $17,500 that looks like that. It is wonderful. One thing I'd like to change, I'd love to see just a slotted traditional screw pin holding those shoulders on. That would make this gun 100% disguised as something way more expensive than it is. I mean, I don't hate it from a practicality standpoint. It's fantastic, but you've got those slotted screws in the tang there. It would just be nice to see that matched on the side. Other than that, what's not to love?